it's beyond words. One can't describe it. It's not an object that one gets and now is, it's my object, you know. Yeah. Realization is not an object that one now owns, another feather in my cap, or something. And that's what people think. Oh, if you're going to be a guru, it's such an ego-affirming thing. And that's absolutely hilarious, because there's nothing ego-affirming about being a honest, true guru, because all you deal with is people's judgments, insecurities, drama.
Because you're not special, you can appear to have an ego, just like anyone else.
Yeah.
You have a personality.
Exactly, there's still persona.
A speaking style, you have your own inflection of voice. They all belong to you.
They belong to this form.
Well, what's the form? Where is the form?
Yeah. Well, there's
it's not somewhere else. It's not out of being.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's
no.
not non-absolute.
Yeah.
It just moves. It's in action. In the field of action.
The form is what is there in the world of the transient. It's part of the transient drama. Okay, the form is there, the consciousness. And so once again we come back to the linga, where you have the yoni, which is the transient, and then you have the Shiva linga, which represents the absolute, that unchanging zero. It's very interesting, it's shaped like the zero, that unchanging zero of perfection. And they're not separate. They're not separate.
I like the metaphor
Not
of the
two.
waves in the ocean.
The waves in the ocean.
So they take form. They
Yeah.
may have foam. They may have a certain pinnacle, a certain shape. Then they settle right back down. They come up. Are they different than the ocean? Are they the same as the ocean? Yes, yes.
Yeah, not separate. Not something different. A wave is just as much part of the ocean as any other part of it.
Does an individual wave arise and then die back into that vastness? Yes.
Yeah.
But it never was anything else but that pure, absolute wateriness.
Exactly. Exactly. So simple. So simple.
Simple, and yet it may require many years of paying deeply to one's own self, paying close attention to oneself before this dawns, because it's so close that we miss it. So you have to relearn how to look. You have to relearn, and that's what the teacher is for. The teacher teaches you how to look at yourself. It's easy to look at objects, but when you apply that style of looking to yourself in terms of the absolute, you never see it. So the teacher is there to teach you this other trick of learning how to see seeing itself, how to see consciousness. And there's realization. But it's a very paradoxical path.
It is, yeah.
Because you can't really teach it.
No.
So we're both pretensions.
There you
We're
go.
pretenses.
Pretenses?
We're both pretenses because we're saying, here I am, you can come and learn from me, and yet we say we can't teach it. We're giving a contradictory message, which means there's great humor in this. So there's no difference ultimately between fakery and genuineness if realization is the case. If there's no realization, then there is a distinction between fakery and genuineness in terms of this topic of realization. So people are always scratching their heads on the question, well, is this a fake guru? Is this a real guru? And that's a valid question, but it's not as important as, am I a fake student or am I a real student? Everybody is obsessed with the topic of, is this another charlatan or is this a charlatan? But perhaps the question should be asked to the self. Am I a fake? Is my approach genuine? Am I sincere? Or do I have an ulterior motive?
Yeah.
Am I looking to see something flashy? Do I want to see miracles? Do I want to see siddhis? Do I want to see all these things that may in fact occur around an enlightened being, but really are more like the waves of the sea and not the ocean in its absoluteness? So the teacher offers this very real option for people to begin to notice consciousness in itself as absolute being. And therefore, they can glimpse or begin to tread this path of self-realization. It's a real path. For me, there's no path.
The pathless
The path is gone now.
Right, the pathless
There's
path.
only consciousness now. There's only
Right.
that. It's functioning. It never stops functioning. It's uninterrupted, unqualified. But for someone who's on the path is real. And they must travel the path to the end because it's their path. It's his or her path. It's their journey. It can't be side-skipped. You can't pretend it's not there. I find people come to me sometimes, they say, "Oh, David, can't you just end this for me?"
Yeah.
I say, I'm doing all I can do just by being with you. You're getting everything you need. The question is, are you simply paying attention to thinking about how to get there, or are you just getting there? Just do it.
Exactly. Yeah, so many times we always have the students come and they want to say, well, I'm going to test you and I want to see if you're real and if you're genuine and, if you're up to my level of being a guru and yada, yada, yada. But, the guru also has a right to test the sadhakas. Are you a genuine sadhaka? Are you worth the time and energy to give this to? Or are you just there for bullshit story and, all this nonsense and have to think that, oh, you're so fortunate to have me as a student? And we get a lot of those types. Oh, you're so fortunate to have me as a student. But really, what are you owed? What are any of the sadhakas owed? They're not owed anything, but they come in like this sense of entitlement. Because I say, I want it, therefore you have to give it to me. But no guru, no spiritual teacher has to take anyone under their wing. They simply don't. What they give is given by grace, out of compassion, but the students aren't owed something. Simply they're not. But yes, we give what we can, and we give as much as we can, and to bring people to a point of breaking through the conditioned mind and how to walk the path. And this is what works. This doesn't work. This works. All we can give them are these guidelines and methodologies, and to help to aid them along. But they have to be willing to listen and have to be genuine. Like the first thing I tell people, be honest when you come. Be honest. What is it you're really seeking? What is it you really want? Sometimes you'll work with people 2-3 years before you finally get to an honest statement of what they want and what they don't want and what they're willing to do and not willing to do. Have the integrity to stand up and once again, have integrity in your search. Be honest about what you want, what you don't want, what you're willing to put. How much effort are you willing to put into it? How much dedication are you willing to put into it? Is this a hobby for you? Or is it really the heart's desire to go the whole way to realization and to do what it takes to get there? Or are you just looking for another show? I want to be entertained, Let's get real with it. Do you want to be entertained? Or do you want to walk the path to realization? Because the path to realization is not always easy, because you have to encounter yourself, and you have to encounter yourself fully. Not your idea of what you think you should be like, or what you hope you like. You have to really see the nitty-gritty and the not so wonderful along the way. And have to go diving deeper, deeper, deeper. But you have to be willing to encounter the emotions, encounter what's coming up fully, without running away, without looking for another diversion. So we're looking also for the sadhakas, the genuine sadhakas, the genuine seekers. Not the bullshit ones that want a spiritual shop here and there and just want to play. I want to pick up something and I want to be entertained for a time. And you better damn well fit my